Mama say, mama saw, mumaku saw. This is A1. I'm Troy Seipel. Thank you so much for eavesdropping this week. Got a banger in store. He's a great comedian, and he has a podcast. You'll hear all about it. So check it out. It's a good one. Don't need to say much more. New friend, homie of the show, Dan Callahan. Thank you so much for making the trek out here.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me in beautiful Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
And you arrived in the sun shower.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, it's always sunny in South Jersey. That's what they say.
Yeah, you brought it with you.
Yeah. That's how it happens. Yeah. But no, glad to be here.
Yes, thank you. So, you're a host of a podcast. It's called the South Jersey Bad Boys.
Yeah.
And, with your friend Brendan
Donegan. Him and I. South Jersey Bad Boys. Yeah, there's a few of us. Yeah. Anytime we have anybody on there, we certify them as South Jersey Bad Boys.
Stamped.
Yeah, you get the certification in the mail.
Does it go in your passport?
Yeah, it's like one of those like scam things where you buy like a 1-by-1 plot of land in Scotland or something. Yeah, it's like that, only it's in South Jersey, and we sell the plot of lands from like cemeteries.
Do you get like an airbrush t-shirt too?
Yeah, it'll say sunrise and sunset on it, and like we predetermine your death date. Yeah, that's what comes with it for only a one-time payment of $2,300. Yeah.
So the best customers are repeat customers. So.
Yeah, we get them coming back. They come back. Yeah, they certainly do. They know where their bread is buttered. Yeah.
It's funny. I saw the name of your podcast, The Bad Boys, and my mother-in-law, rest in peace, with the last the fucking debates between Biden and Trump, the last one where he was like in a fever dream. She's like, that just reminds me. Have you heard about these bad boys in her Doko accent? The bad boys. She meant the Proud Boys.
Yeah, have you heard of these bad
you
boys?
About these bad boys.
Yeah.
So every time I see the name of your show, I'm like,
It's like, it just brings us back to a better time where it was two geriatric people, which very well may happen again, apparently.
I mean,
but dude, we only had. I don't know how the name really came to be. It was something that Brendan threw around about himself. He would call himself the diabetic bad boy. And then we would just refer to other South Jerseyans as, bad boys here and there. And then we're like, let's just start a show about it. We were using the Cops theme song for a while because not only does it have the name in it, but it also resonates with our audience a lot.
For sure.
There's at least 10% of our audience has been on Cops at some point or another.
It's relatable. Yeah.
So, but like we were playing that, I was like, I can't just have the Cops theme song. We got to have our own thing. So then Brendan and I started doing a jingle at the beginning of every single one.
Nice.
And it's awfully humorous, but
you guys have great chemistry. It's a good show. So.
We sometimes have sex.
That's pretty fun.
That's what you got to do with the podcast.
It's the game these days.
If you're gonna host a podcast that has close to 50 episodes
somebody's
together,
got to get fucked.
Yeah, somebody's got to get fucked. That's how it goes in the podcasting. It's inside. Usually we only talk about these things at a conference, but
I appreciate it. You heard it here first.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be fucking. Oh shit!
I was just with Brendan all weekend. We actually get booked through the podcast. A comedy booker over in South Jersey does South Jersey comedy. Reached out to our page.
Nice.
He was having an Irish comedy night on Friday, and then was doing a corporate gig on Saturday. More of a private event type of thing. So we did both, and it went well. Irish comedy one was definitely better. It was the same group of people in each one, but
they just flipped.
It's just the private one was down at the AC Country Club. Right outside of AC, beautiful country club. But like it was for their members only, and there was only like 30 members that showed up with some guests and stuff.
Right.
So it was and it was in there. I've only been there for weddings. It's a massive like wedding reception room at a fancy country club. And it was one of those things
like
where
a
it's
ballroom
like
style.
It was like a ballroom basically, and there's only 30 people in there. Which some shows are like that. What are you going to do? It's also a members only. You're expecting more people to buy it.
Right.
Whatever. It's just one of those things that you got to be able to have somewhere in you to go up to a nearly empty room and still do 15 minutes of clean material for a crowd where the youngest person was 70.
Wow, that's fun.
So
it's a whole different thing than
like some of their kids were there, and I think their kids were like in their 40s. It was
the kids.
Yeah, they're there with their parents, basically.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, we had
How'd that go?
It went well. I mean, we didn't crush by any means on Saturday.
Well, can you with that crowd? Is there a crushing with that?
It's awfully tough. I feel like unless I couldn't even tell you right now who a comedian, like unless you were famous or just a really clean older comic that like, even the guy that we were working with, he did well for it. Thankfully, he did 40 minutes, but he was Conan O'Brien's lead writer for like 25 years. Yeah. So he did obviously really well. Me and Brendan can clean up our acts to a degree and then also make it, to a degree relatable to an older crowd. Sure. But Friday was great. So at least that one was great. It was a packed room. They laughed at the setups. Like they were on board. It was a tight room, wood paneled room. It was like a room that you walk into and it's like, I remember when you could smoke in here and it makes me want to pull out a cigar.
You can still smell it in the wood.
Yeah, you can. So I love those types of places.
For sure.
But so that was nice. Yeah.
It was past their bedtime, so it's,
most of those people it was. Yeah. So at least that show Friday was in South Jersey as well. Yeah. So, but it was good.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
5.5 years now. I started November of 2017. And as we were saying earlier, I started way too late. I was 27 years old. Not that that's late by any means for people that start comedy, but it's just, I was already living in the city for a number of years, probably 2 or 3 years. And I was going to open mics. I just wasn't performing.
Okay. So you were hanging around. Yeah.
I was hanging around just to watch. And
so you already had some comedy friends and shit.
No, I would just go by myself.
Yeah.
I would go and I would see a lot of the same people at different mics. So I got the lay of the land that way. But
and you see the clicks.
Yeah. And that's all it is it's you're back in a high school cafeteria where you have a different table of the different
fragile egos.
Yeah, every single person, no matter what table you're at, is going to have that. But you'll get people that are more, the hot jocks. Then you'll get like some of the like punk rock, emo, goth type of people over
Freaks
here.
And geeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I started that. It was 5.5 years ago, and it's interesting that my first mic was November 2017. It was shortly after Punchline opened in Philly. I went there for Dave Chappelle's first show there in the summertime of 2017.
Awesome.
They did their first open mic on a Monday night. They did online signups. I signed up online. I got on the list. Went there then. And then my next night, same thing. You sign up online for Helium. Yeah. I did that for Helium on Tuesday night.
Oh, Jesus.
So my first 2 mics were at Punchline and Helium.
Oh, that's amazing. How many people do they take at Helium?
Helium, it's
do they even do one anymore?
They do. It's not every single Tuesday, at least the last time I've seen it. I honestly stopped going because if you're in the city, it makes sense. You can stop there on your way to another one. I get that. But in Jersey, I could definitely go over there. But for me to get over there, to get there early enough to sign up.
Inconvenient night.
Then they make you sit there for an hour before they put the list out. Yeah. So, and then you rarely get on. I only got on at Helium three times ever. Really? And one of those times was my second time on stage ever. Yeah. So it's just the fact that I started my first 2 open mics were at 2 of the clubs in Philly. And my sets went over what I thought at the time were decent. I didn't bomb. I didn't get 0 laughs at either one. So I'm like, oh, this is what it's like. And it's like, that's nothing what it's like. Go to an empty bar and eat shit in front of your friends for 5 minutes. And like, that's what it's like. So I came down to earth very quickly after
crashing down.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure. Man, I've never performed at Helium or Punchline, but the last time I was at Helium, I was smoking weed in the green room with Brian Posehn. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, let me pick that name up. No, he literally, like, in his act, he was like, if anyone has weed in the audience, ha ha ha.
Oh, really?
And Daddy had weed.
So you just stood up and went in the green room there?
No, well, he came out and I was talking to him. And,
that's awesome. He vetted you a little bit.
Yeah, he
came in.
He saw I wasn't a serial killer.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. No,
that's fun. Yeah,
dude, Helium is really tough to get on for their open mic and stuff. Yeah. It's like it's like cliques of the already existing cliques inside of there for what I see a lot of the times. Yeah. But Punchline is always great. They do it on Monday nights. Yeah. You can sign up online, I think it might be in-person ones, but I like that a lot better. It's a lot easier to get to, especially from Jersey. There's more parking over there.
Where's that?
Punchline is like right off of Delaware Avenue, Spring Garden, Front Street there.
So it's not quite as center city-ish as Helium.
It's actually it's right next
to pretty much like Rittenhouse. Cathedral Stone.
Helium is on Sansom Street, like 22nd and Sansom. The thing that I hate about that the most is that they have a parking garage right next door to Helium. But but the parking garage closes at midnight.
Okay.
Sometimes
So
even
it's not-
earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes they close at 10:30.
So if
sometimes
you're there for a show, you can't.
and
like,
that's what, like, who owns this parking garage and who
and knows that it's a major national, national headliners are here.
that place is
Like,
getting packed out every single night, and you're not staying. And they look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wait, I got to be back to my car by 11. It's like you realize the show I'm going to is at 9:30.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't believe that they just don't stay open.
Yeah.
Like, even on show nights or
No,
something.
that's preposterous.
Sold out shows of 300, 400 people
They
2
should-
times a night.
As a business owner, that's a bad. Bad.
Exactly. And that's what I hate the most about that. Punchline is in Fishtown. It's right across from the Fillmore. There's easier access to park and areas. So, I definitely trying. I think you have a much better
check it
shot,
out.
a better time doing the Punchline one.
What do you do? Because like at the bigger clubs, you got less time generally. Or do you just
I think
3 or 5?
Generally at Punchline, I think it was 4.
Okay.
I haven't been there in a little bit, to be honest. Last time I was there was when they were still doing it outside during the pandemic and stuff, and I think that was 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Helium, I think their open mic is 3. Unless you're somebody that's been around a bit, they'll give you like 5 or 8.
Yeah.
But it's 3 there. But yeah, Punchline all the way for at least getting your feet wet back into the, because you were doing it a while ago, right?
I was, and my first open mic was at the Laugh House in South Philly, where like Metzger, Big J,
all those guys,
Kevin Hart, even
which is no longer a thing anymore.
No, it's not there.
Where was it exactly?
It was on South Street, and I honestly every time I was there I was drunk, but so like. I forget exactly where. I could look it up.
It was on South Street, like right in the thick
like
of it.
The main, the main drag.
Oh, so it's like east of Broad, like on South Street, because all the way down to Second and South, there's a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, and it was a nice club,
really?
a nice room,
Huh. I've only ever heard people bring it up. Obviously, it was well before I ever started.
I'm not sure what year it closed because I had fallen off with comedy since then. But,
yeah.
So yeah.
But now you're getting back into it.
Get my sea legs back.
Yeah, dude. It's like getting an itch. It's just, getting right back in. I get that with so many other things, and I go in and out of stuff.
Yeah, man.
I've been like that with fishing a lot. I've been like that with all types of golf too.
Yeah. I feel it, but I feel like I will resent myself later if I don't do it now. Yeah. And I've been saying that for years, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's fucking true, man. Like I have to do it.
Yeah.
But I've been lazy with it at the same time. Like we were talking earlier. Like talk myself out of it, like just like negative self-talk,
Yeah, dude, that happens.
Bullshit.
That happens a lot, but it's one of those things that like
we're lazy, like fucking comics. We're fucking piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. But that's where I've like some of my friends that want to do it, like comedic friends, like obviously just anybody I talk to. I don't know if everybody's goal is to do it full time or not, but if you do, there's so many jobs in comedy you can do full time. Number one, but if you just want to be purely like all the people we see online, which are mostly they're their own boss. They're doing stand up
on the road. I'm my own boss. You remember that commercial?
No,
it was like for trucking school. It would be on like Philly 57.
Really?
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's hilarious.
On the road, I'm my own boss.
I do.
I'm sorry. I just fucking derailed you.
The road, I'm my own boss. Can I drink right now? Yeah. Can I snort some lines of coke
some schneef
at a truck stop with a lot lizard in the porta potty? Yeah.
14-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't ask for ID. I didn't know I had to be a bartender carding people at the door to my 18-wheeler.
Yeah, because I am my own boss.
I am my own boss. I didn't hire security. Yeah. I need a lawyer, so...
Yeah, dude, they used to play that. Yeah, it's funny.
I love the commercials on those channels, though.
Yeah,
especially
they played the same ones for years and years and years.
Yeah. It really says a lot about the demographics watching shows because I would watch Jerry Springer on PHL now, but I think it was like the WB 17
Philly 57.
What was
I keep saying 57.
What was it? There was a
WB.
Yeah, that fucking frog doing a tap dance. Yeah.
It was hilarious.
So they
the minstrel.
Yeah, dude. The commercials on those channels though, they're all just like JG Wentworth.
Yeah.
And injury lawyers.
Yeah, dude, like Burlington Coat Factory. Like,
yeah.
Doors unlimited. Yeah. Unlimited doors. Great fucking jingle. Yeah.
I love some of the lawyers too. They just come in hot.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, did you gamble gamble away all of your stepson's college tuition without your ex-wife's knowledge?
Yeah.
Then call me and I'll get you
Rand
at it.
Spear.
Yeah, I'm Rand Spear and I'm your action lawyer. Yeah, I'm your accident lawyer. I said
the
action
best.
lawyer. That's even better. Could you imagine an
The
action figure lawyer?
Yeah, bring it. Bring your action, son.
That would be hilarious. But yeah, those commercials on there, I love
They're
them.
so gold. Dude.
They are, but then
I
it's
end up quoting them like that's from my childhood. I'm still saying this shit at 40. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
dude. I still have the J.G. Wentworth jingle stuck in my head for eternity, and I don't think I would ever be one of their customers that would want to. You ever get money from J.G. Wentworth? No. I don't know the interest rates, but I imagine they're like 35%. But I know the
phone number from the song.
Yeah. 877 need cash now or cash now or something like that. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I would go to 1,000,001 other lengths before I called a J.G. Wentworth type of company.
Yeah, I would suck dick for anything before I would go.
I would definitely get involved with multiple cartel and gang members before making promises.
I would sell family member.
Yes. I would create a pyramid scheme with my niece's Girl Scout troop before I ever went to J.G. Wentworth for a dime. I would just be selling fake caramel delights for at least an entire holiday season to my family.
Fake funeral plots.
Yeah, dude. Fake funeral plots. Dude, if you think about
That's a great idea.
I've always
like the people at the airport selling fake taxi rides. Like,
wait, that's a thing? Fake taxi rides?
Yeah, my friend buddy was telling me.
I know the program Fake Taxi. It's on a Pornhub.com, but fake. There's actually fake
my
taxi.
homepage.
Yeah. I was gonna say, are these fake taxi rides? Do they fuck somebody or?
They just fuck you out of your money. Yeah,
I thought they were staged. Apparently, they're real. What's a fake taxi ride like?
No, these dudes just like hang out at the airport and like you need a taxi. Like claiming they'll arrange a car, but they'll just take your money.
Oh, fuck.
And then you still have to pay the taxi guy. They're just like, yeah, it's there. Yeah,
oh, shit.
It's like found you one.
Damn.
But all they did was take money, and then you're fucked.
Holy shit!
You still need a taxi, so you're gonna get
damn. So
pay the motherfucker.
They're like a knockoff bellhop, just like trying to a guy working at a hotel or a resort.
Yeah, fucking snake ride salesman.
It is always funny when you go to different cities in the U.S. because there's a whole different type of like societal norms.
Yeah.
A lot of people when I see them come to Philly, they don't. If they're from, you can tell they're from the Midwest.
Sure.
But if they're from the Midwest or something, for example, when I lived in Fairmount, I would go down and by the art museum a lot. I would like run by there.
Mm-hmm. Say hi to Rock.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's where all these tourists were. Yeah. They were in line.
Yeah.
For the Rocky statue, and there would be a guy standing there.
Repeat that sentence, by the way, for people that live not in this area.
Oh, standing
in line for the Rocky statue.
People stand in line to take pictures
outside of the art museum.
Outside of an art museum filled with world-renowned art, they will only go there so they can get a picture with a statue of a fake Italian.
Yeah. And special needs.
A guy with a speech impediment that should have been dead 20 years ago.
Yeah, punch drunk for life.
So they stand there in this line, and there's basically a homeless dude in the front of the line that will pretend that he's like the hired photographer, will take your phone and take your picture, but he will demand $10, $15, $20 back. And if he does, because he gets your phone.
He's got your ransom.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'll just drop this in the Schuylkill if you don't. Like,
or like the like Times Square, they have the superheroes that want to take a picture with you.
Oh yeah, they're all pedophiles in the costume.
They're pedophile day traders.
Yeah. I love the guy that walks around like Elmo or Cookie Monster, and you just like
and then demand money. It's fucking.
You can just smell them right through their costumes.
Yeah, learned that lesson twice.
Oh really? Did you get robbed by one of them?
No,
how defeating would it be?
I fucked him.
Oh, you fucked him? Yeah. You see just Big Bird getting fucked in Times Square, right next to the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. It's like there seems to be a man fucking a knockoff Goofy in the ass.
City that never sleeps.
Truly doesn't, because you really got to keep one eye open at all time around those New Yorkers.
I haven't been there in a while. Have you?
No, I
it's pre-pandemic, pre-panty.
In like specific parts of New York, I have been probably less than a dozen times in the last 5 years. But not Times Square specifically in a while.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. What a ridiculous sight that is.
It is, but that's America to a T right there. Times Square is like, I just love seeing people that like think Times Square. It kind of is America to a degree.
It is, but it's like a facade of
very corporate
it's like
version.
Hollywood sets for like the back of the building, just to like stand.
Yeah, because literally, if you go one block outside of Times Square, you're kind of like in a bit of a standard
bit of a pickle.
Yeah, it can be in a bit of a pickle if you go in certain areas. Yeah. I just want to bring back the Times Square that was there in like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
because I remember
it's dangerous and there's sex everywhere.
Yeah, there was that one documentary on Netflix.
I think I saw whatever
of that guy that was murdering prostitutes from peep shows in Times Square.
Dude, and like they show like. The streets were lined with like various sex places. Yeah,
just like big glory holes and peepholes.
Kept it real. Like we fucked, dog.
They just go up to a window on the sidewalk. Where you can't do that at the M&M store. Well, I mean, you can, but I was asked to leave.
Politely.
Yeah, very politely. After I tried dancing on the piano at that fucking toy store, it's like I just want to create what Tom Hanks did without getting AIDS. And they were like,
passion.
Yeah, it's my passion to dance on pianos in front of children. Yeah. And then I'm going to pretend to be one. Yeah.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, exactly. But I actually love, on a sidetrack from Times Square, and I just wish it would come back to that because I've only seen one glory hole in my life, and it was at the Vince Lombardi rest stop on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Fantastic.
On my way to the Jerry Springer show, I went to go see a taping of Springer. Yeah. And we stopped at that rest stop, and there was a glory hole in the bathroom, which was amazing. It was incredible.
Fuck? I've never seen a live one.
I doubt it's there anymore. But like one in real life.
What do you mean by live?
Yeah. A lot of people talk about like, have you ever seen a midget in real life? It's only in the movies. The glory hole's kind of the same thing. Yeah. So the that one had it. It was kind of funny. It was hilarious. It looked. It wasn't like it looked like it would hurt if you put your dick through there.
Yeah, dangerous.
Like at least if there's any back and forth action.
What's the wall made? Like, are we talking about like a stall?
Yeah, it was like a stall door inside of
plastic.
Plastic, and then there was like a.
That's dangerous.
In the middle there was like some type of like the plastic was like a little bit harder. I don't know if it was some type of PVC or something, but like definitely like cutting that. It was a sharp edges.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
That's dangerous.
No one got in there with a sander or anything.
No, this is sensitive.
They don't even care. Yeah. So it's as if they don't care.
Careless rest stop glory hole.
It's as if they don't care. And
it's my new metal band.
I forget where I was going to go. Oh yeah. Times Square and that. Where was I going to get to? I went to the Jerry Springer thing.
Oh shit, my bad.
I forget. No, I'm trying to think because I went back into the Jerry Springer stuff. What were we talking about before that in the glory holes? Times Square, that Netflix documentary. Tom Hanks. I mentioned Tom Hanks there. Have you watched that new Netflix movie, A Man Called Otto or something?
My wife wants me to watch it with her.
Dude, I watched it and I enjoyed it. I know it's based off of a book of like a Swedish guy or something to some degree.
My favorite type of book.
Exactly. I love those. I thought it was great and I actually enjoyed it. There was just one thing that I found hilarious about this story. Is basically an old guy who is, his wife died a few months ago.
From what I gleaned, there's some sad shit.
It's just this grumpy. Baggage. It's basically this grumpy old guy who the people around him just try and make him, a little less grumpy and mean to people.
It was like that. Do you remember that Michael Keaton? Jack Nicholson, a completely different human being. That movie with Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
It was he was like an old curmudgeon, grumpy, like lost whatever.
Yeah. There was a very similar
movie about making him happy.
Yeah. And I just watched that movie with him and
Something's Got to Give.
It was Bill Murray and Megan. What's her name? The woman from Bridesmaids. Megan. I fucking forget her name. She was her name was Megan in Bridesmaids, but what's the actress's name? She's the bigger woman in Bridesmaids.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Her and Bill Murray were in a movie. Similar thing. This neighbor who's really grumpy, and then he like tries to become a better person.
What's that one called?
It was just new on Netflix, but it's a few years old, and I forget.
Isn't that funny? We don't we'll watch it and not. I'm like,
not
wait, what is the title of what I'm watching? Even if it's good.
Yeah, dude. That's what that was like, and that it's a similar plot for this man named Otto. Colorado, but the one thing that I found, it's this guy that's like an old school, grew up in the 50s, only bought American-made trucks, and the way that like they injected like all this present-day modern things into it.
Yeah.
This one kid is like throwing newspapers on his house, and this won't really like spoil anything really for the movie for you, but he's throwing like newspapers there, and then the kid, like, he's mean to him, and then the kid's like, I knew your wife, she was my teacher, and he's like, I'm sorry. And it's like, you know, guy, it turns out the kid is trans. He's like, I'm transgender.
Yeah.
And then Tom Hanks' character just like has a completely change of, but to me, I was like, this like old school guy that grew up in like the 40s or 50s, American made stuff, all this thing. I was like, he's gonna be like fully supportive of the trans movement. I was like, what?
That's not realistic.
No, it's not. And
let's be real.
I liked the movie up until that point, and I was like,
you're losing me.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you don't have to include that, but like to have that be in the plot, I was like, that just doesn't even make sense. I was like, that doesn't.
You're just splattering that in there.
If it was
like,
somebody, at
it's
least
like my wife, and you know, my wife used to watch Sex and the City.
Yeah.
So she was watching like the reboot, whatever, and like one of them has a podcast now. You know, we updated it. They have a podcast. I'm like, come on, dude. Like you're just like injecting like the key, you know, hot terms in people's heads. That
little
like,
buzzwords.
Oh, it's update. You know.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
My wife watches that shit all the time. Any of the reality TV things.
Bravo. You watch the Bravo.
Yeah, I'm forced to sit there and listen to Below Deck in the background.
Yeah,
God.
the Vanderpump shit.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
I know way too much about it.
Well, between
like I'll sit there. The rule is I'll watch it with you.
Yeah.
But don't stop. You're not going to stop me from Mystery Science Theatering the shit out of it. Like I'm going to talk.
That's what I do all the time.
Yeah.
Luckily, she doesn't miss much because it's like, what did I just railroad over that girl calling the other one a whore or something? It's like,
I'm sorry. Did I speak over four people speaking over each other?
Yeah. But that's I constantly have to watch that stuff, and I never, between that and the Kardashians and the Vanderpump stuff, I was
that
like,
one I don't. She doesn't watch the Kardashians. But,
I don't even think it's on the air anymore. But that Real Housewives is just all these old rich white women that are just like fueling this hatred between other people. That's all it is.
It's so toxic.
It is. Dude, I had a videography class I took in college, and my professor there was originally from the Harrisburg area. That's where I went to school out near there. So he was like back in the area working full time again. He was working as a producer on reality TV in LA, and he was telling us about reality TV and producing it and everything and how it went. He was the main producer on the I forget the name of the show, but it was Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey's.
Where she said like tuna, chicken of the sea.
Chicken of the sea is tuna. I didn't know it was whatever it was. He said that show specifically was with MTV, and he said every closet in this house that they were living in was just filled to the brim with alcohol. Yeah, and he's like they just made them get fucked up every time they were recording.
It's sad, and like there's writer. If you watch the credits, there's writers for these shows.
And it's
and the producers push them into situations.
Could you imagine having a writing credit to an episode of a show where it was just like somebody saying something stupid? It's
like, would you want that as a credit? Like, now save that. I'm good. Like,
some of those episodes, I think most of them were a half hour, maybe some were an hour, but either way, it's like Jessica Simpson and him could be like having a barbecue, and then like before the day is there, someone has to go grocery shopping. Like it all follows a very simple plot.
It's formulaic.
And it's like, what did you have to write besides?
I know. You're not writing like punchlines or plot twist. Like
here's a misdirect. How about you get mad at her?
You know, it'd be really crazy if she got drunk and angry.
Yeah. But oh man, dude, that Below Deck show, I've never wished for a group of Somalian pirates to take over a boat.
I am the captain now.
Yeah, I would pay good money to watch a Captain Phillips come out real time.
The cooks always suck. I hate the fucking cooks. They're all assholes. You know what I mean?
There's another Tom Hanks movie right there, Captain Phillips. I'm surprised I remember I'm just glad to see that he did a movie that, well, this is based on a book, but every movie it seems like he's done recently is based off of, Captain Sully was the other one.
Oh, that's right. I never saw that movie.
He did that one. He did
I saw
Captain
it on the
Phillips.
News. That's why.
I swear Tom Hanks is just sitting by a phone waiting for a national story, and then he just picks it up. He's like, I'll play that part. Yeah.
Genius. It's working.
Yeah, it's working for him. Yeah.
I don't watch his shit.
No, neither
He's
do
a
I.
great guy.
Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like a genuine guy.
No rapes in that closet that we know of. So.
Well, that is funny whenever there's somebody that comes out, maybe more ironic than funny, but like somebody like Bill Cosby, for example. Yeah. He was totally a like pull up your pants, quit cursing.
Yeah. He
so
would tell
far this way.
Like Chris Rock. He would tell the young
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
He would tell Eddie Murphy to stop doing that, and then Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor was telling him, be yourself, and that worked out for him.
Right.
But it's like people like Bill Cosby that are so far in that realm.
Yeah.
You know that they got shit in their closet.
Yeah, some fucked up
They're
shit.
trying to make up for shit over here.
Exactly.
And it was very similar
it's
to
like projection.
Yeah, it is. And it was like that more recently with Ellen DeGeneres as well.
It turns out she's like a monster to her staff and shit. Yeah.
She's like, I'm just a nice little white lady dancing with
I'm dancing
celebrities
with
and
DJ,
with Obama's kids and stuff. I'm just dancing on Ellen. It's like behind the scenes, she's just smacking pregnant women in the face.
It's insane.
Yeah. It's a shame, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, somebody's got to be an asshole.
So, I'm always skeptical if anybody is way too nice or way too. I mean, for all we know, Jay Yoder could be a war criminal.
That's a good, distinct possibility.
I think he's trafficking something in Spring City. There's people just aren't that nice. I mean,
he's an angel.
Yeah. I frequently bring that up on our podcast on the Bad Boys. We have an open mic slander portion of the show where we just slander the entire scene, and we just throw out accusations. We
start rumors.
We're kind of the hub for that.
I love that.
I find myself bringing that on to
that's called positive toxicity. I just made that up.
Yeah, well, that's what I like to call it in my neck of the woods. Yeah, some people say it may be a problem. I like to bring it up. Sometimes in comedy related conversations, maybe on work calls. People don't know what I'm talking about. I like just to keep people guessing. I'll just casually mention it.
Dude, what did he say? But then they're at a point where you can't ask. Like, what did he just say? So just like, dude, I have to sit with that for the day.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
amazing.
just leave it at that. I love leaving people on cliffhangers, and then I get fucking pissed when they leave me on.
Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, you have these assholes.
And then you can't sleep.
Yeah. You have these assholes in your life that it's like, I got something really important to tell you, but let me call you later about it, or I'll talk to you next week.
So you won't think about anything else until then.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fucking people. These people, yeah.
Oh, wow, these people.
What can you do? Yeah. So I'm, open mic scene has been quite hot.
Yeah.
Doing that. What do you... Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Go for it. No, go.
I was going to say, what do you do for like work now?
Nothing right now.
Nothing?
I'm in between. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So I have a lot of time. That's another reason. I have a lot of time to dedicate.
You just start podcasting full time. Yeah.
Podcasting.
I guess that's what you can call yourself. If anybody asks you, get some business cards, you're a full-time podcaster.
Oh, so cliche sounding.
It is. Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. Well, now it gets kind of, there's a lot of people that probably have that for themselves.
Yeah. It's a broad thing.
Yeah.
But,
or you can call yourself a prompt engineer for AI. That's job titles that are being created.
Yeah, I'm the guy who types
I'm the one who figures out how to talk to robots effectively. Yeah, I like it.
It's true to an extent.
Yeah, I got to learn how to do that a lot better. I've been trying to weasel my way into it.
Yeah, just slide in ChatGPT's DMs.
Yeah, I got the app on my phone now. It's actually pretty neat. So
do you pay for it?
No, I just have the free version. I just like that they have an app now instead of going through the web browser.
They do. Okay, so I did not know that.
Well, they actually share. Like, go make sure you get the official one because there's a million and one others that are just like
use it
as a third party.
AI.
Yeah, they're not open AI. This one is open AI.
None of that Bobo shit.
Yeah, exactly. I had to grow up with that shit. That's
yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's my
the hand-me-downs, the Bobos.
Yep, dude. I'd never had any name brand sneakers till I was like in high school. I think it was always $40.
Same.
At the flea market.
Cost what? Mm-hmm. Now I learn
Yeah. Well, dude, the problem with me with that was that I was playing. I played 4 sports a year.
Yeah.
And I played basketball in the wintertime. And my parents refused to pay for the team issued whatever because they were always like $120 or $150.
Yeah.
Not that paying for that was going to be a problem for them. At least they just didn't see it being a worthwhile investment. Yeah.
You know, the things that you're going to be standing and
like,
running.
You're going to need new shoes every year. So we're paying this on top of what we got to pay for that. I was like, yeah, but like I'm the only one on the team not wearing the same colored shoe.
That sucks.
So I had to wear all black. They weren't even like name brand anything.
Shit.
No, and they always, the bottom got all fucked up. And like I'm trying to do suicides in the gym, like running, and you're just sliding all the way across. Yeah. God.
Yeah.
So
I used to have to get the cheap sneakers.
Yeah. I had that all the time. They always went to Aldi to shop for groceries. There was never name brand anything in my house.
Yeah. The store brand cereal that tastes off.
Yeah, dude. They would like sell it in like huge bags. It wouldn't even come in boxes.
Yeah.
It'd be like bags, and the knockoff Lucky Charms were marshmallows and stars.
Yeah.
Oh man. And
Two out of the what, 5?
Yeah, dude. And all that stuff. It actually, like, now that I think about it, like, I kind of, it made me not be as picky of an eater.
Yeah, I'm not very picky.
Yeah. Because my wife is definitely a picky eater. She grew up going to some 5-star nice restaurants all over. Her brothers are like chefs and stuff, so like she likes
she's
good
elevated.
food and everything.
She has an elevated palate.
Yeah. Meanwhile, with me, I was like, I need TV dinners. Like, I don't
good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I don't eat seafood or anything like that. That's
Right.
my only thing. But I had this like surgery when I was in college, so I really can't do it. But but yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'll eat whatever. So yeah. You have any dietary restrictions?
No, I don't.
That's the way to be.
Luckily.
Yeah, you don't have to be that annoying person at the group dinner.
You're like, oh, well, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know what to get for dinner tonight. I hope pizza's not like, ugh, he's getting,
Well, no, if anybody were to turn down pizza, then they should be removed from
like,
the premises.
All right, just stay, don't come down.
Stay in Jersey, you scumbag.
No, fuck that. I'm so glad you came.
Yeah, no. So you said you went to Ocean City all the time growing up?
Yeah, dude. Since since I can remember, every summer we would do Ocean City.
Yeah. Now, would you go there for only like a certain week of the year?
July 4th usually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So they went spring, go for a holiday weekend?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because I mean, like my family didn't have to pay for the spot because it was my dad's frat brothers, and like we would all convene, 3 families.
Nice. Okay.
It used to be like it was like a ranch with like one spot in the front and then like an efficiency. It was like the old school Ocean City. Like nothing looks like that anymore.
No.
But when the dude passed, they like rebuilt it into like multi-level shit.
That's what they do with everything. I feel like Ocean City is just people driving around in like construction trucks looking for the next lot to demolish.
Half the
and
people
rebuild.
there are probably like getting working.
Yeah, dude, I don't blame them. It's it's where the market is hot. Jersey Shore stuff, absolutely. We grew up there. I grew up going there too. We would like change it up. It wasn't every single year. Some years we would go to the Poconos. Other years we'd do something else. Yeah. But if we were to go, it would be in August, and we would go and stay at like 12th and
down
Asbury. I think
right down. Oh yeah,
right in the middle. But like we went to the Tahiti Inn. This little,
I know the place, dude.
Yeah.
I know the fucking place.
They were like apartments.
I know
like
exactly the spot.
They had like a waterfall pool in the middle.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's where we would go.
I know exactly where you're
I don't even know if it's still there. I imagine it is. But
so we stayed on 57th, like in
all
Asbury.
the way down. Okay, gotcha.
So on the quiet side of that of the island, which is nice now. Like when we go down, roof, go up on the roof, smoke and shit. But
we always liked going just there because it was in the you didn't have to take the car out at all.
Yeah.
And growing up as a family there, like no one had to leave to go to a bar or this or that, whatever. So,
and as a kid, like all the shit I wanted to do was down. It was right down that end. Like.
We could just walk right out of there and go up over wherever.
It's like mini golf shit. The King Kong one.
Yeah, the King Kong one.
Spitting on people.
Yeah, just go up there because it would just be me and my family. We never I know a lot of my friends would have like friend or like extensions of the family coming to the trips. Mm-hmm. We never had that. It was just me, my parents, and my 2 sisters.
Same, except I was going to see my dad's frat brothers had kids that were my age, so it was like a built-in.
That's good.
5 dudes.
Because I'm there by myself. It's like, all right, I guess I'm going to go out on the boardwalk at 10 p.m. by myself. Nothing is more sad than a 14-year-old getting a free hug T-shirt and putting it on. I'm just going around. Like, do you want to come up and hug me? They're free.
For the best.
Yeah. I'm going up to I thought any girl that was older than me was out of my league, so I had to go to girls younger than me.
Dude, I was terrified. Dude, that was the whole thing, walking on the boardwalk,
oh, yeah.
Like, oh, my God, there's so many hot girls.
Yeah.
It's like, bro.
Yeah, some of these girls are from Pennsylvania.
Oh my God, I bet.
Yeah, dude, especially for me growing up in Jersey, it's like some of these girls, they're like foreign. They're like from like Delaware County or something.
Like, wow.
Yeah, wow. Like I've never seen girls with like pimples like this on their assholes before. I can't believe they're oozing already.
Yeah,
it's
holy
like
shit.
Yeah, they have live crabs living in their pants. It It was so foreign to me. I was like, wow, it's like you see like a girl from like a tribe that hasn't like reached civilization.
Yeah, one of those unreached.
Yeah. So that's what it was like. And like I would always see, I was like, oh, everybody's up here with their friends. I'm just, how do I get into a clique with some guys, or do I just hit on girls my age by myself?
Right.
I remember specific times I'd go up and sit on like, the benches on the railings.
Sure, on the side.
That's where everybody would congregate.
Yeah,
Every now and then you would see a couple of girls just by themselves. There was never a girl by herself.
No.
I had to go in deep into a pack.
Oh yeah,
you had to go into a pack of 2, 3, or
Make
4
a
of
couple
them.
friends.
I just go into them and be like, hey, what's going on? I'm
dude.
like 14. I was like, oh god, that had to have
Stand
scarred
up front the surf mall.
Oh yeah, I would walk through the surf mall and just see
buying hemp bracelets.
I was just gonna say hemp bracelets
and
and
white
henna
zombie t-shirts,
henna tattoos. I hit a little oxygen bar.
Yeah.
They have everything there that's
amazing.
like the minor leagues of like what you could get in AC.
Fuck yeah.
You could get
just
fake
like
tattoos,
band t-shirts. Fucking random posters of Madonna naked.
Yeah.
Basic fare.
It was basically a large Spencer's.
Yes, yeah.
The surf mall. Yeah.
Surf mall. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, that's I think that the Tahiti Inn was right behind that.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
thinking now. Because we would always park down around 12th.
Yeah.
There was like a Verizon building that we could always like park in the parking lot, like illegally. Yeah.
Well, the Tahiti Inn always had a few letters out in their sign outside where they had bright orange letters, and that's how you knew it was classy.
Yeah.
When they could
in with one eye. And
yeah. So if you read it from far away, it was like, what is that place trying to say? Tahiti Inn?
Tahiti Inn?
Yeah, Titty Inn? What is it?
A sit-in?
Yeah, if the right enough lights were out, it could say Titty Inn. So it was my kind of spot. But we would go down to Gillen's Island, that amusement park.
Yeah.
Go on the water slides and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I like going there.
Yeah,
but
grew
then
up to going there.
Yeah. And then after we became teenagers, my dad liked going to Atlantic City. Didn't like gambling, wasn't into any of that, but liked the atmosphere. There was a lot more happening there.
He chose that over.
Yeah, not for
Ocean
like
City?
The beaches in Ocean City are 10 times better. I have never been on the Atlantic City beach where it hasn't been overcast all day.
Right.
Like I just go out there and
it's like London.
It just looks like you are in like Portland in the fall outside on the beach.
Yeah.
And
like this Vancouver weather is really getting bad. Yeah.
And the lifeguards have to work nonstop because there's a lot of people that aren't even from the U.S. that are in AC.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they think Atlantic City is like the Paris of the United States.
I don't understand it.
So
I
don't know if they just can't afford to get out to Vegas.
Who's like their marketing team?
Yeah,
AC, like they're doing a good job of fucking like spreading fake news, dude.
Yeah, because then I'm thinking, you guys came from a foreign country and you flew in most likely to Philadelphia. Then you drove an hour down a highway. I wouldn't do that if I was going to.
What is that? You're sightseeing what? Dirt.
It's like, wow, America's beautiful. I flew into Atlantic City. I went over the Walt Whitman Bridge, and I've seen nothing but trees since
and produce stands.
Yeah. I've seen nothing but girls from Delco with butterfly tattoos and the color of the Italian flag. They would say "Daddy's little girl" on them.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's all you would see, and it's like, what? And then they have the audacity after all of that to go into the water.
Yeah, please.
and then almost drown. That's probably did it on purpose. Drown.
It's fucking rude. Yeah.
Now it makes sense. All those people are just trying to purposely drown themselves.
Don't come in here drowning in my water.
The lifeguards are ruining their good time.
What the fuck you doing?
Assholes. I was a lifeguard too growing up. That was
for a pool or beach at the shore.
Pool. Brendan actually was a lifeguard at a water park in Wildwood. I always wanted to go live at the shore when I was like.
Yeah, I had thought of that, but
I could never my dad never wanted to help me with that.
Like be one of the Russian. Like what is that about? By the way, there's like all the people that work on the boardwalk became like Russian teenagers at a certain point. Like,
Brendan talks about that a lot too. He talks about the people in Wildwood. It was any boardwalk you go to. Ocean City had it.
But
the core bros.
Was there a program? Like what the fuck?
There was some type of program. I think it was like I have no
what
idea.
The fuck,
I can only attribute it to the Jersey Shore being so prominently located to New York and Philly, and it's also on the East Coast. So anyone coming from Europe, that's like the first stop.
Right.
And then they just they could fly into New York and just go south on the Parkway and end up there.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. The lasses tend to come from good stock, from what I've seen.
But it is wild when you see all these different groups of people. It's like a mini UN on the Wildwood Boardwalk.
Bro,
I'm like, what the fuck is going
seriously,
on?
Seriously, it wasn't like that. Like I remember a time when it wasn't that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like,
I never minded the hot blondes that could barely speak English at the ice cream places.
Like, I would love to talk to you, but I'm not going to.
But then every now and then, the Cambodian exchange students would get in a turf war with the French kids from Canada, and it's like,
down.
I'm like, what the fuck?
They had to sort it out. It's nature playing out.
Yeah. But yeah, Atlantic City was just a lot more. Me and my buddy hung out with a bum in AC one time. Yeah. Kevin the Bum was his name. I don't think he's with us anymore.
Rest in peace, Kevin the
pour
Bum.
one out for Kevin the Bum.
Yeah, KTB.
He was doing like tricks on the board, and I don't know what kind of tricks he was doing, but he attracted a crowd. He wasn't turning tricks, but he was
performing.
He was performing. He was some type of
like 3-card Monte or like
probably something like that. He was scamming people somehow. I can guarantee it. So he was out on the boardwalk outside the Trop, and we were walking by, and we just became a part of the group watching him. Yeah. We somehow like ended up like walking off the boardwalk with him, just me and my buddy and him. Yeah. And he wanted to go to the liquor store. We got him tried to get him some Lucy's. The guy's like, I don't sell Lucy's, so we bought him a $4 bottle of brandy.
Sure.
Then he wanted to split a prostitute. Yeah. And we're like, oh, like the cost for you to have a prostitute. He's like, no, we can get one for $20 total between us three. I'm like, I'm not sharing a hooker with a homeless guy. I mean, it would have been good for a bit or something, but for like a joke maybe.
Right, but not for sanitary.
No, a lot of people said that they would be down for that, like doing cocaine with hookers and all this stuff. But it's like once you get down to the, maybe not the best place to do it in a crack house off the boardwalk. No. So then he got into a fight on our walk back to the boardwalk with a cabaret bouncer nearby, and
like
then,
you do,
like any homeless guy.
If I had a nickel,
that just chugged the $4 bottle of brandy.
Cabaret,
bound to happen. Yeah, cabarets will get you.
So you're walking by.
We're walking by, and he gets in an argument.
It's hard to start a fight, a drive-by fight.
Yeah. We're just walking by, and he said something to the bouncer, and the bouncer got mad at him. They got into a full-blown altercation.
His steroids were talking.
His steroids. Yeah, the crack was wearing off. And we got back to the boardwalk. We're like, all right. And then we never saw Kevin the Bum again.
Yeah, KTB, rest in peace.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I have a very similar story I'm sitting on for my early 20s because I want to make it, write it into a bit because it's the crazy story that is. Oh, dude, I just did the thing we were complaining about, how someone will like tell you like, okay, hey, I have so much to tell you.
I got a crazy story about how I robbed the liquor store with a midget prostitute. Yeah, no. And we went on the run for 3 months, but I got to tell it later.
Yeah, I totally did it. But I just can't tell you.
Oh, yeah, you got to work it out.
It's for the stage.
Yeah, save it for the stage.
Speaking of the stage, let's see. So you and your boy, Brendan, you guys are doing shows often and
early and often.
Yeah,
early and often.
Like where your main like
these
shows
days,
like
these
whatever.
da's so much shit is happening in South Jersey.
It's shit's popping right now, right?
Yeah, comedy in general, but like over there, it's more than what it used to be.
Yeah.
There were some good mics going on, still some good mics going on. Shows popping up left and right. A lot more like low, like it's not like full-time comedy clubs like Philly has.
Sure.
It's not like a healing.
It's like a night in a brewery.
Yeah, it's like a showcase or a monthly show or an open mic or something. But there's just a lot more than happening, which is nice to see. There's
amazing.
Growing community of South Jersey people, and it's good when all the Philly comics will come over to South Jersey.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that a lot. They've been getting packed in South Jersey, which is nice. So we stick around a lot there. Brendan does a lot with a lot more people branching out more. Like he does stuff up in New York and stuff.
He's a people person.
Yeah. He's a good looking people guy. Have you seen his calves? I mean, look at the guy's calves. He looks like he has fucking tumors on the back of his legs. That's what the people say, at least.
That's what I hear.
But so he does a lot there. We do a lot with Comedy on the Crick is another big booker, PA wise, and then any random little one-off show where like legitimate, like Jeremy Smerling has Derailed Comedy. If you've ever seen that, he's a South Jersey guy as well. Yeah, open mics and showcase to pop up over there. Yeah. So it's
a fantastic scene right now, dude.
It is.
Even just like Jersey, Pennsylvania. Like, there's a lot to do here.
There is. Yeah, you can definitely get on a lot of areas, get a lot of stage time. It's a lot better than other cities. Not a lot of the same nonsense. Every scene you would go to is going to have the same bullshit that you got to deal with at open mics or whatever. But it's elevated when you're in Brooklyn or in Los Angeles.
Right. It's like, so much.
Yeah. So I just can't fathom how and why people want to start comedy in those cities.
Fucking A.
It's like, why don't you
start there? No, you can't.
You could start in Detroit or fucking Wichita Falls or something. You could start anywhere.
Cedar Rep,
Yeah. You can go anywhere you want. Start there, and then once you get, then move on somewhere. But you got to get your footing first.
Yeah.
People that have never done open mics before that'll be like, I'm just going to move to LA.
Not how it works.
It's like, no, dude, don't do that.
Yeah. You don't want to put out a subpar product.
No. If you're going to those cities,
if you do, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And plus, when you get to those places, you already have people that are levels above you, and you got to at least be able to speak the same language.
You got to be a small fish.
I've seen way too many people post online in Facebook groups or whatever saying like, how do I do this? Or how can I'm in New York. It's like, if you don't know the answer to that question and you moved to New York to do comedy, you made some bad choices.
Someone on Facebook's not going to change your life.
Yeah. But so we have all those things going. It is nicer to where I will say that we can clean up our acts to a degree. I want to say that, like, if we want to do a good 15-minute set, it's got to be at least a smidge PG-13.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot different than being, fully, like, you can't do anything less than rated R.
Yeah.
Which my sense of humor is in that ballpark.
Right.
What I think is funny, what I talk about loosely, will definitely be rated R stuff.
Yeah.
But if I have to and can clean it up, I can do a 10 or 15 minute set clean.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys I know don't want to do that, which is fine.
Yeah.
But like, people then ask me like, to
refuse to do it is kind of silly.
Yeah.
If it's not your forte, I understand that.
Some
but
people,
if I were in the position, I would do both.
They want to stick on the hill that's like, not that it's a hill to die on, but they'll definitely be up there where they're like, no,
this is mine. I'm going to make,
I don't do clean comedy. That's not my audience.
It's disingenuous.
And that's all fine and well. But like, if you have something you can fall back onto, it's just the people that will say like, I don't do that, but then will ask me, how'd you get on this show and who books that show? I was like, well, I only got booked on it because I don't have to go up and talk about, eating my grandmother's asshole for an hour.
Right. Yeah.
So,
indeed.
Which that type of humor is in my ballpark. I'm not saying be clean.
Sure.
But so many people
But you could make it. There's nothing wrong. It's not selling out to fucking do it clean.
Yeah. I think
I see both sides, and I think both sides are fucking great.
You can make anything out of it. It's more impressive when someone is clean.
It really is an art.
When you can be good and clean.
Yeah.
And the one thing with that is that people will remember the person that bombs doing terribly dirty stuff at an actual show, not an open mic. Open mics, nobody remembers shit because there's 25
just
people.
A fucking circle jerk. Yeah.
But on an actual show, if there's 3 comics, the headliner's great, and if the host is great, and let's say you're featuring and you go up and you're dirty and you bomb, people will be like, remember that guy that was talking about if Anne Frank fucked a black guy? Like, if you're doing shit like that, people are going to remember it. But if you go up there and you bomb talking about airline food, like, no one's even going to give a fuck.
Fucking a blip.
So that's why they'll book somebody that's going to bomb being clean more so than someone that's going to bomb talking about.
Interesting. I have noticed. Yeah,
because I can remember specific things that people have done, but like,
they're
clean,
like, oh, you're clean, you could do this time. Okay.
Clean, it just has a little bit, like, I will say that there's definite differences between doing comedy in the city and the suburbs.
Yeah.
Because there's people, I definitely am one of them, that is way better in the suburbs, and if I go into the city, I can't relate to 20-year-olds. Yeah, and I'm only 31, and I'm like,
it's already gone.
Yeah, but and the vice versa.
Different worlds.
Same thing on the flip side, though. There's people that only do comedy in Philly that try and come to the suburbs, and it's like, wait, how do I relate to a 45-year-old with a mortgage? It's like, it's a little different of a thing. That always keeps people on your toes, though, and I like being able, trying to get to the point that I can have sets for each demo, and it's like, okay, let me go this route.
That just makes you smart and versatile. That's all I got.
Versatile. That's what it is.
You know what I mean?
I've always been a utility player kind of guy.
It doesn't have to be your fucking Mona Lisa.
It
has. You can do other shit. You know what I mean?
That's why I like hosting too, because other people don't want to touch that. Hosting is definitely a different muscle.
And you're a great host.
Well, thank you.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it. I like doing that. I feel like I can goof around a little bit. There's more room to stretch. I can do a little crowd work.
Yeah.
And it is different because you got to go out there first.
Right. You got to set a tone.
But yeah, I definitely had to learn how to do that a lot more.
Sure.
I definitely had to build that muscle a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've always been that more utility player.
Right.
Growing up playing baseball, I would play whatever position is open on the field and you need somebody there, I'll do it.
Sure.
When I was on a swim team, it's like wherever in the relay race you got to put me, I don't give a fuck.
That's how you fucking get shit, dude.
So same thing with comedy. I was like, I'll be a
get
host.
in where you fit in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I do. And on the flip side, I didn't specialize in any sport.
Right.
So I was only good enough to play, ride the bench for D3 for a couple years in baseball. That's what I did. Other people, they specialized in baseball. They got to play for a few years.
Yeah. I mean, it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
You can focus on one thing.
Yeah, I just like that you have your own track, your own niche like that. So
but your approach creates more opportunities in the long run, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Especially being able to host because there's a lot more need for that, and you get paid more. And then being able to have somewhat of a cleaner thing.
Right.
I'm definitely not clean by any stretch, but I think I'm clean enough to pass by if needed. Yeah. So I think that definitely helps for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that I'm in any position to give advice to people, but that's how I've taken it. And,
no. I mean, just your experience is advice to people.
Yeah,
I know.
Especially only like 5 or 5.5 years in. That's just what I've picked up doing that. The one thing I do hate about doing stand-up after you do it for 5.5 years, I can't stand really watching specials anymore. Or listening to stand-up.
I have trouble. I will do it, I have trouble. I will do it because I feel obligated to know what the material is. But I'll sit. I won't laugh. I won't laugh.
That's
even
what
if
happens.
It's funny. It doesn't. I become like jaded. Almost, and
it doesn't even. It doesn't even matter if you're you're doing comedy full time and you are like the best around, or you're relatively new and you did your first open mic last week. Once you start sitting around comedy enough, it's just like I don't need to watch. It's people I'm fans of too, and I'm like I just can't.
I know it becomes a chore, a bore, and a chore, and. It's a shame. Like a little of the magic is gone, but I mean, I love doing it. I'd rather be doing it than just be a fanboy,
Yeah.
So
I see some people on the internet are like fanboy like crazy over specific people, and it's like of people that I've like met multiple times, or have done shows with, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Like, as much as I love some of the best guys to ever do it too, comedy is different to where. If you look at like music or something, it's not every day that a local musician that is in a situation like you or I am, and can come back and say, oh, this weekend I'm going to be performing with like this rock star that was big a couple years ago, and now I'm going to open for them somewhere. I'm sure that can happen.
Sure.
But in comedy, if somebody's in your town, you can do a guest spot with them there, and like that person could also have been on Rogan like a week prior.
Right.
Like I just don't see how any other art form, any other entertainment form of entertainment can have you be one person removed, one handshake removed from the largest things in the world, and the largest entertainers in the world. It's wild.
Like you don't see an open micer, or not just an open micer, but a new comedian. Let's just say call it that. I'm sorry, a new guitarist, like randomly doing a show with Bon Jovi.
That's the thing.
Do you know what I mean? Like the worlds don't collide as much. Like in comedy, it's much more like egalitarian in a way. In certain ways.
There's people that could be relatively new that did a show within a first year with a pretty big name person, for sure. Absolutely. So it's crazy how that happens that way, and then it's one of those things that's often talked about, but where you can only get good at it if you do it in front of people. You can't do it in a vacuum. Like I was telling you about this show, like the sketch version. It's just like it drives me insane. Like this is so much like more refreshing and gives me juice talking to comics. You know what I mean? It is nice. And doing sketches too, you put that on the internet, you have no idea, unless you have a pretty big audience, whether or not someone's going to like it, if it's going to resonate or even be,
it's like
understood.
It's pissing in the wind, dude. And then it just fucking keeps me up at night. Like it's over I'm doing for fun. So it's just like, wow, this is chill.
Yeah.
This is chill doing it like this.
And that's why, like, anytime any of my full-time jobs I've had that know I do comedy, which they all have, and I haven't had any issues with it, and I know, which is rare
That's
apparently
amazing.
today. I know a lot of people that do have those
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate in that regard. But with any of them knowing that I do that type of stuff, it's... I forget where I was even going to go with this now, but
it's all good.
Having those jobs that you know, corporate wise, I know they limit some people in certain areas, and you get to do with some of the things, but you're doing it for fun,
right?
So you kind of have to have that job, but then you're doing it for fun for a number of years. So you kind of have to have like a part-time job on time of a full-time job, and do it for a certain amount of time before you can even get
be able to do it.
You got to do it for 10, 15, sometimes 20 plus years before you can make a poverty level amount of money.
Like a modest. It's entry level position style. It's crazy.
And that's why at this point,
if you're not doing it for fun, then you're probably like,
you gotta have some fun doing it, because people, if they're not doing it and they're just trying to get to a point, it's like you're never gonna reach that plateau of where it's like, finally I got here and now I can just coast. It's like even the biggest comics would never be able to do that.
No, you're only as good as your last show, as your black show,
as your black show. Black shows are fun. They're the best. I was
if you do well, you're the best.
I was one of the few white kids in my high school, so I was mostly friends with a lot of black guys growing up.
Same situation.
Really?
I went to Coatesville.
Oh, okay.
And it's about 40-60 black white.
Oh, okay.
What did I say? 60-40.
Is it 60-40 black to white?
Yeah, I don't know.
Were you the minority in your school district? That was
I don't know, dude. It was pretty even, but they were like, you know.
I guess I could say it was similar for mine. I grew up.
It was great. I'm glad I have that upbringing. Like, I love it.
Same with me.
I'm fucking like, look at people and they're just like,
if they only knew.
Like, to socialize with everybody from a young age is the way everybody should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that because
Where'd you go? Where?
So I grew up in Edgewater Park. It's in Burlington County. It's right across the river.
No. Just fucking with it.
It's right across the river from like Bristol.
Okay.
Burlington Bristol Bridge is right there. But I went to Burlington City because Edgewater, we were small of a town. Too small of a town. We didn't have a high school.
Sure.
So I went to Burlington City, and that's where it was very a lot more evened out.
Yeah.
I want to say it was probably 60-40 black to white. Yeah. With little bits of all different types of other ethnicities in there as well.
Sure, same.
But when it came to sports, though, that's where, like, on the football team, it was maybe a handful of us that were white guys.
Right, yeah.
Basketball, same. Even less.
Track. Yeah. I ran track. I was like one of the only white guys who ran track.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And we had some Liberian dudes that ran track and I played soccer with. They were fucking Tom Tarley, my man. Tom Tarley, this Liberian dude. He was fucking just angry all the time and always yelling. I don't know.
Probably the best soccer player,
fucking amazing. So fast, dude. Like dude, so good. Such a good dude.
Damn.
Tom Tarley.
Tarley.
The crazy thing about Liberia is it was a nation founded by American slaves that went back to Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
American slaves that were in America. What point was that? Like, what year? Like,
dude,
were we talking
I don't
like
know.
18?
Let's look it up.
Give it a Goog and see what we can find. I've never looked into the
history of Liberia.
The history of Liberia.
How did we get
unfortunately.
here? How did I get here? Where is my big beautiful?
History of Liberia. Well, so it's slaves from America that went back over there, and where they like, finally, we're gonna be out of this fucking slave
this mess.
They're like, actually, no, you're gonna be slaves here now.
And they're in civil war. Like, when,
is that where Gaddafi was?
Yeah, no, that was Jesus. Gaddafi was Libya,
Liberia. Fuck.
So Liberia is on like the western coast, right? Of Africa.
Liberia is?
Yeah. So like, this is great audio.
Perfect. Oh yeah, so it's over there. It's up on the it's like up on the titty on the left side there.
Yeah, like under the underboob of Africa.
Yeah, it's like the side boob of Africa there,
Exactly. So
nice.
What do we got going on in bordered by Sierra Leone, Guinea, and the Ivory Coast.
Oh, the Italians are over there too?
Yeah, the Guineas. Fucking Guineas, dog. No. Population of 5 million. English is the official language.
Really? I didn't know there was any countries.
Dude, isn't that insane? It's insane.
That's wild.
So,
is it because of all the slaves that came from America?
Yeah. So Liberia began in the early 19th century as a project. That's a great way to frame it. Of the American Colonization Society, the ACS, which believed black people would face better chances for freedom and prosperity in Africa than in the United States. Between 1822 and the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861, more than 15,000 freed and freed-born African Americans, along with 3,198 Afro-Caribbeans.
Caribs.
Afro-Caribs.
That's what they would call Carib Indians.
Yeah. They relocated to Liberia, gradually developing an Americo-Liberian identity.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Damn, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So now, you know, if
declared independence in 1947.
1947. Yeah. Interesting.
I'm sorry. What were you about to say?
I was going to say that if like somebody comes from Africa to America, they're an African American. So if you're an American going to Liberia, are you an American Liberian?
I don't know.
Does American always come after? It sounds a lot better coming after, but I think that there might be some bias there with just how I've heard it over the years.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation.
Well, I'm going to have to go to Liberia. I'm sure I would be very welcomed there in my current state like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what type. I know some African countries will fucking, what do they call the thing where they light a tire on fire and they put it around you if you like
party?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is this?
You remember Live Leak? You remember that website?
Yeah, the website, yeah.
So they shut down a couple years ago, actually. But
is that where you could see like beheadings and shit?
That's where these types of videos were.
Yeah.
I forget what they called it. I know they called tarring as one thing where they would cover you in tar and then like light you on fire.
For the purpose of what?
Basically, if you got caught shoplifting some gum.
Oh, like a punish? Fucking night, dude.
They would kill you in the streets like that.
Fuck.
But there was
like
one
public execution.
Yeah. There was one. What they would do is they would put a tire, like a full rubber tire that they would light on fire, and they put it around you, and like you couldn't get it off. Yeah.
And just in
the streets, in the public streets,
and just lets you like wander like a chicken.
Yeah, basically. Or they'd make a ring. It was pretty fucked up videos.
Give them room.
Yeah. Give them room, everybody. They're just selling tickets to it on the side. Yeah.
Jesus.
Instead of people barking for comedy shows in New York, it's just trying to sell tickets to the public execution.
Oh my God, a little game of Flaming Goodyear.
Could you imagine if those were still like a thing in the U.S.? Oh God.
Public executions. Yeah.
That's like any other day over there,
people
though.
Lined up around the corner.
Oh yeah, people would be. Yeah, they would go from going to get a brand new iPhone to then film the public execution. Oh man.
From line to line.
Yeah, but dude, the over there it gets fucking wild with that. But Live Leak, the owners of Live Leak, shut it down 2 years ago.
They were like,
I think
Jesus.
They were like, we thought we had a great idea with putting some of the most fucked up shit on the internet. Yeah. But at this point, it's gotten too bad for us.
4chan.
Yeah. So
wow.
All of that stuff.
So that doesn't exist anymore.
No. I think if you go to Live Leak,
so
it redirects you.
I'm sure something fractured. I'm sure
there
something
is.
replaced.
There's other things out there now
on the dark web.
Yeah, there is. I got my own dark web website. It's called onlydans.com, and it's nothing but Dans on there uploading filth.
Subscribe now.
Yeah, you can
smash that like button.
You can subscribe for $4 Confederate dollars.
Smash if you want to smash.
Yeah. It's just me on there taking pictures of my feet.
Hell yeah, dog.
Yeah. My wife comes home. She's like, "Why are you wearing my lingerie?"
Listen, man. There's food on the table. Goddamn it!
You think I afforded the name brand Cheerios this time? It's not the no. It was Fruit Loops that were Fruit Rounds.
Fruit Rounds.
Yeah. It's like
fruit spelled FROOT.
Yeah. I just hated that they tried to stick close to the mascots on those things.
Yeah, and just like warped it like you're on like acid.
It just looked like
it looks slightly off.
It looked like Toucan Sam if he like had radiation at a young age. Yeah. So fucking annoying. I was like, I guess this will pass. It looks like Toucan Sam, just had a biopsy or something. It that was always fucked up. But the radiation's been a problem in South Jersey.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. And now these Canadian wildfires blown Everyone's getting lung
As
cancer.
if Canada hasn't been bad enough of a neighbor. They're just now just
hey,
like,
here, have some wildfire smoke.
Yeah, sorry, we're just gonna have a bonfire just sit above you for a while.
Like hold your breath for a little bit.
If you guys could just not breathe in, here's some masks.
Don't go outside.
Yeah. Just don't
That's
go
how
outside.
All Canadians.
Yeah, they're
don't
just
go
trying
outside.
they're just trying to keep us inside so they can go outside and be rascals. They're probably starting ice hockey games in the streets without us.
You fucking Americans settle down for a little bit.
The Canadians are just trying to stage their positioning to take us over.
They're
just gonna hit us.
This is how we weaken the hive.
Yeah,
they're literally smoking us.
I watched Signs a few weeks ago.
Sure.
Mel Gibson.
Fucking amazing.
Joaquin Phoenix. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, man.
So I like in there where they show like the screen where all the different lights in the sky and everything like that. But during the day, they say that they're still there. You just can't see them. Yeah. That's what we're doing with the Canadians. They're lining up out there,
invisibly hiding. Yeah, in plain
invisibly,
sight.
And then we're just gonna have hockey pucks coming through the fucking windows. Yeah. Beavers just chopping all of our trees down. Any stereotypical Canadian stuff is gonna be happening here. They're gonna take over, and we're gonna be fleeing to Mexico.
We're gonna be
not gonna be a bad idea, to be honest.
Throw water on them.
If you've seen parts of Mexico, it's beautiful. Especially right in the middle of the desert. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's lovely. Weather this time of year.
Have you ever been to Cancun or Mexico?
No, I've been to Tijuana.
Ooh.
I was like, dude, legit. I was like second grade.
Really?
It was amazing.
I didn't know it was legal for second graders to go to Tijuana.
My uncle was wild. He lived in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
He took us down. Dude, I was fucking second grade. Like I said,
that's such an uncle move, taking your second grade nephew to Tijuana.
And we're in like a square, like a plaza, and there's kids. It was really eye-opening at that age. There's like solo kids selling chiclet gum by themselves. Like, what the fuck did you do? Like, Uncle Tom, what are you doing? Like, bro, it was wild. So that's the only time I've been. But
holy shit,
the only place I've been in Mexico is TJ.
I think you're good. You're set for life now. I've never been to Tijuana, so I mean, I've been to Cancun.
What is that? Like resort?
I've been to a few. I used to work for this travel company, so we were privileged enough to be able to go on trips down there. Stay at nicer hotels. Some were nicer than others. I've probably been there 5 or 6 times now. But it's it's a nice area. Parts of Cancun downtown can be sketchy, but everyone thinks you're gonna get like robbed and murdered and shit there. It's like, no, you're their customers. Like, you're not in that area. No, high tourist areas. Every now and then something will happen.
They're not stupid too. They're not gonna like be so blatant to come around those places. With Western.
They'll be in like downtown Cancun, but unless
cartel. We're talking
exactly.
We're saying talking the quiet part out loud.
It's definitely the cartel members. Yes, there are parts where I'm definitely sure around touristy areas they're hanging out at. But usually you read the stories and it's like, like Chandler was on spring break with his dad's money, and he stayed out at a bar till 4 a.m. and smashed a bottle over a guy's head.
Fucking idiot.
It's like, okay,
Chandler
well then,
needed that.
That was just a wake up call that he's not going to recover. But that's usually what you hear from those stories.
Sure.
I haven't had any problems there. It's nice to go to, but it's one of those places you go a couple of times and it's like, all right, what else is there?
I've seen it. Yeah.
I get bored really quickly when traveling though. I can't just get dropped off at an all inclusive on a beach for a week.
Hell yeah. It's the same. It's like they're all this. I mean, you're at a beach. There's drinks.
That's what I told all my friends. Is like, I could put you on a beach anywhere in the Caribbean and blindfold you and take it off, and you tell me where you are. You'd have no idea. It doesn't even matter. Right. They all look very similar. Obviously, there's different parts. Like we went to, I've been to Antigua for my honeymoon, and that was a really nice island. It's a very good island for honeymooners, couples, engagements, like older people that renew their vows or they're retired, like stuff like that. It's kind of a quiet island. There's areas obviously where you can party. There's a cruise port, stuff like that. But it's largely couples, some family trips there. But they are known for their beaches. They have a lot of beaches there. I like going there. I've been there twice. I was there right before my honeymoon, actually, for a work trip.
And then back for the
honeymoon.
Oh, right on.
I was there in December of 19, and then
warming it up.
And then honeymoon in March of 2020.
Oh, that's dope.
Because we actually went on our honeymoon in March of 2020 because we're fucking
insane.
Yeah, wild. We had our wedding that barely got that in. Then we went on our honeymoon. Then we bought a house. And doing all three of those things at that time, I mean, in March of 2020 was shit in the fan,
bro. Yeah. It's so intense.
Luckily, we got all that in and done though. So, and now I just want to move out of New Jersey. So
yeah. Where would you go now? Like,
I honestly would look at PA, Northern Delaware. In Jersey, I just don't think I'm getting my bang for the buck when it comes to taxes. Everyone says
for sure,
but like taxes over there, and you never really realize it. I wish they taught this shit in public school systems.
Do not teach you dick, dude.
Yeah. Not that I'm anybody that should be, laying out the curriculum for a public school system.
No, but
given that
it doesn't take a genius to see holes in
especially
the curriculum.
especially since
they don't teach you how to dick about like how to operate finances.
No, we had one marking period in senior year about like that type of stuff where you have like a fake family and you have to have finances and a budget and a checkbook. It lasted for one marking period my senior year.
Right.
It's like I'm halfway out the door trying
to go. You're not paying a fucking attention to what you're learning.
I'm like halfway out the door ready for a graduation party where I can finger somebody. And it's like, you're going to try and talk to me about taxes now?
About stinky fingers, not like checkbooks. Like, come on, dude. Routing numbers, go fuck yourself.
I'm trying to go black out at someone's graduation party and make out with someone's aunt.
Hell
like, what are you trying to...
Let's go. Priorities. Like, this is life. It's all happening now.
Yeah. Dude, they didn't teach all that stuff, and now in Jersey, my property taxes sound like such a dad, but like I'm out there watering the lawn in the morning, looking at the property value, checking out taxes.
How much they're dropping the value. These fucking guys.
These fucking guys over there.
Cut the grass. Like.
Exactly. I'm looking. I was like, hey, buddy, how about you cut your fucking grass?
Yeah.
Our taxes are like $7,000 now, and it's like our house is like 1,500 square feet. It's like a normal size New Jersey property, but
I think Northern Delaware is the move. Like I have friends looking down there.
Their taxes are like $1,000.
Yeah, and your money goes further too. Like the price of homes, like, and they're decent spots.
Yeah, they are nice. It's close enough to Philly too.
95's not far.
Yeah, Northern Delaware is so much closer to Philly than I always thought.
I know. Looking at a map, it's like what? Yeah, it's right there.
I've never really noticed that until recently. I've done some shows there, and I've gone over there a decent amount, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize I was in Delaware. So that's probably the move, because Jersey taxes, they always stand behind the it's going towards an educational system that can't be touched anywhere. It's like the high school I went to was one of the worst in the state, and I don't think that you can't tell me you can't find better on the other side of the bridge. It's
stop it.
Now I'm sure in North Jersey, where there's some really expensive prep schools and everything, I'm sure that's nice. But my dad's not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not going to fucking some Don Bosco prep for $75,000 a year. So so that's probably the move. That's probably what we'll look at in a few years.
North DE.
Becoming North Jersey, Delaware North Delaware bad boy. That'll work.
There we go.
That'll do it.
Just take that. You can't take the bad boy out of this.
No. You can take.
I said that fucked up.
You can take the South Jersey out of the bad.
You can take the boy out of the.
You can take the boy out of the South Jersey,
but he'll still be racist.
Yeah, but he will still frequently try and use racial slurs. He will still call someone a derogatory term in the Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Yep.
That's life, baby.
That it is.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
So what do you got coming up?
You know what? I got a bunch of comedy on the Crick shows coming up conveniently. It's kind of all over now. These in multiple locations, but they're in PA. Levittown, beautiful Levittown, Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
Full of just
cornfields and Mennonites.
Yeah. Well, no, that's Wait, no. Levittown has some of those.
Oh yeah, they're around.
They're around.
Mennonites are like Amish light.
Yeah,
they can like do shit. They're like they're like Amish on parole. Like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of.
I mean, it's definitely more towards Lancaster and stuff like that. But
yeah. Because I when I went to college, I went to a school out near Hershey. I was right near Hershey.
Yeah.
So going through, I had to go through Lancaster a little bit, but then I had friends that were from those areas as well. So some of them lived near there and had a lot more experience with the Amish than I ever did.
They call us the English. Did you know that?
No. They call them just
they
regular.
refer to us as English.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Like outsiders.
Just where the outsiders like an M. Night movie where we're like outside their walls and they're gonna
the English have surrounded us.
Yeah.
Because they're like what? I think they're like German, Amish.
A lot of them
like
have
Dutch
a
and
Dutch,
and
German
Well,
background.
Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch Wonderland. You ever
Fuck
go
yeah.
there?
Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, we go there too, and we couldn't
I could
afford to
probably
go to
still
Hershey
draw
Park.
a map of it.
Really?
Oh,
you've been there a lot. I
Yeah.
went there a couple of times when it was a little rough to get into Hershey Park, cost-wise. But if we couldn't get a can of Coke that had a discount code to get into Six Flags with the old man dancing on
Fuck
it.
yeah.
Dude. It was always they used to have buy one get one free Coke cans where you could get into Six Flags.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
That's right by. How far from
That's
you?
probably like 40 minutes, 30 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
It's in Jackson. It's in the mythical Central Jersey.
Yeah.
I always liked going there, but it just gets overrun by New Yorkers.
For sure. Yeah.
And I don't know
we
what
took
it
like
is.
school trips to Six Flags.
Oh, yeah, I did too. Yeah. We took school trips there. I actually got in trouble coming back on a school trip. My friend, somebody dared him to throw a Snapple bottle out the window.
Yeah.
And he decided to throw it out the window at a woman jogging.
Perfect.
And a glass Snapple bottle cracking somebody in the head.
Glass.
The car behind us saw it come out of the bus, and he got the plate, followed the bus to the school.
Motherfucker.
My buddy got suspended for the rest of the year.
I mean,
luckily the lady didn't die.
I know.
mean, could you imagine a glass Snapple bottle? Which those things don't exist anymore.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking plastic.
Yeah,
Ew, that's brutal.
I had a plastic 40 the other week. It's really bad.
The kit doesn't contain the shit the same as glass.
The glass, you get a nice crisp glass 40. There's nothing beats it.
Plastic? What are you doing?
Yeah, God. So we'll be when is that? That's in Levittown, Pennsylvania on this weekend, but then the 24th
is
also
Brendan with you?
I don't know if he's on any of these actually. But that's the 10th and the 24th of Comedy on the Crick.
Okay.
But the summertime comedy gets really tough because there's a million and one things that you can do. And a lot of people just don't want to sit inside of either a basement or a hot room listening to people talk about their dicks.
Right.
Which that is perfectly fine with me, but other people have other plans apparently. So what can you do? But that's what I got for the rest of June here. Are you getting back in and hitting mics?
I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Gotta come over to Dirty Jersey. We'll recruit you to become a South Jersey bad boy.
Fuck yeah.
Certification and
I want to be one of the Proud Boys.
Yeah. You just
want to be one of the real boys.
Oh, you got to come over there. Your initiation is either you can join a gang in Camden.
Yeah.
You can assault a teenager that's loitering at a Wawa.
Yeah.
That's another initiation tactic of ours.
I summered in Jersey every year of my life. So.
Oh, then you're basically.
And I'm like step grandfather then.
Yeah. You're an honorary. You like it's like Bill Cosby that had a PhD at Temple, but it was an honorary degree. You'll get one of those.
Go Owls.
And you wouldn't have had to make all those risky decisions that he made over the years.
What are you talking about?
You know what? I'm getting kind of sleepy. I forget.
He did nothing but shore bets, dude.
Yeah, dude. He was hitting parlays on FanDuel in 1972.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How about I leave you on this story? There was a girl that I dated in high school for a little while.
Sounds made up.
My senior year, dude. This girl wanted to become a Kardashian. It sounds made up if I even talk about it. She was like an Italian princess of like a rich fucking family.
Squeezed it out.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, she was, I think, half Jewish, half Italian.
Okay.
Wanted to be like a Kardashian like no other. I think I met her through a friend that was friends with someone on MySpace. Wow. Very sketchy situation.
Sure.
But
love makes you do crazy things.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Her dad owned a classic car, used classic car dealership.
She has to.
Yeah, that's how
it's
you
a
get
requirement.
How else do you make it big in South Jersey?
It's a requirement.
It is. Yeah. He was just selling used classic cars from the 50s that had the VIN number scratched off.
Fucking
how else do you do it?
Fucking A.
So her family, her mom's car was David Akers' old Hummer.
Eagles kicker.
Yeah.
For those who.
Yeah, he was an Eagles kicker, number 2 retired David Akers.
Amazing.
And they had an all green interior H1 Hummer that was white on the outside, green on the inside.
But sure. I'm not going to question his style. But.
Very, like, I wish I could make it up. But because I had my license as a senior in high school, she was only a sophomore, so she didn't. So I got to drive these cars around because I got to drive her around.
Oh, so you're whipping in the...
Yeah. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Her mom went to Drexel though, and I was in high school. This was 2009, 2010, years before these Cosby accusations came out.
Yeah. Officially.
Yeah, officially. I know that they were kind of talked about, and then Hannibal Buress was the one that blew it up on that leak set from the Trocadero.
Sure.
But her mom went to Drexel, and she would tell me these stories when we'd be over. I would talk about, because even then I would talk to people about comedy. I was nowhere near doing it yet. I didn't do it until 2017. This was like 2009 or 10. I would talk about it, and she's like, yeah, like, you know, we would go out and go places in the city and stuff. And Bill Cosby, actually, multiple occasions, she told me these stories back then of him stopping her and her friends on the sidewalks in Philly when they were leaving bars.
You fucking kidding me?
She's like, yeah, it was always really weird. Like Bill Cosby would always like find us and ask us like where the after party was, but
what the fuck?
He was an old man, so we thought he was kidding. We'd just laugh it off. But she's like, honestly, there was something weird that felt about it. You know, the entire thing. And this was in like 2009, 2010 of things that happened in like probably the 80s, 90s, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know, maybe even earlier, somewhere in that range. But range of, you know, when he was practicing his craft.
Things.
So
at the peak.
At the peak of it,
if there's a peak, that was it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, my whole relationship with this girl and family ended in turmoil, and I'm not connected with any of them anymore. But I am very curious to go. I want to go back and just be like, so like, what?
Wait, what the fuck was that about?
Did you go to court and squeal on Bill Cosby?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
or like,
wild.
I was like, I just want to commend you. You were right.
Yeah. Believe her.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah.
When you like are right about something for years, you had an intuition. Yeah, it just feels
it's the truth that comes.
You
out.
love it when you like something just comes to light like that. Like,
satisfaction.
Yeah,
it's justice.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's not justice.
Yeah.
He's a piece of fucking shit.
But he might be back on comedy tour, which I'll buy a ticket.
He fucking really is doing that.
He wants to go back on tour. How great would that be?
Yeah. Well, there's
not great.
He's about to catch a new case too, because
I did see that.
California is doing the same thing that New York did.
Yeah,
which is like the mechanism that lady sued Trump. Like the look back laws.
Yeah, and they have
open up the statute of
limitations. There got expanded a little bit,
but it's only a civil case, so you know what I mean.
He's just bound to like lose his shirt a little bit. He might not go back to.
He's got a big ass shirt though.
Yeah.
40 years doing the America's Dad thing.
Yeah.
He's got a big shirt.
He certainly is America's dad, and we did. You know, luckily somebody was able to fill his shoes. Only he died recently. Jerry Springer was America's dad.
Fuck yeah.
All circles back to it. All roads lead back to Jerry Springer.
That is true.
They've been uploading a lot of his episodes to YouTube, and I enjoy watching them
for free.
They're on there.
They
cut down a lot of the segments on them, but they're up there, and just seeing these brawling trailer trash hookers. Bro. I do love it.
I used to watch all the time.
So did I. They got some really good swings and some licks in there. They just
better than wrestling.
It was a lot better. I like to think some of that stuff was more real than wrestling,
because it was like mixed groups, like male female fights. Like you got a little bit of everything. You know,
you did. Yeah,
some you know, I don't know.
There was
some LGBTQ stuff. You know, everybody was fighting.
They were putting. Yeah, it was on TV back in the early and mid '90s.
That shit was bleeding edge at the moment.
Yeah, and it was actually started as a pretty serious show.
It did. He was a journalist. He was a politician.
He was a politician that wrote a bad check to a hooker.
Yeah,
and that's how it all went downhill. But then,
his talk show was serious. Like legit.
Yeah, he got into an argument. They had to hold him back from a Klan member or something. But a lot of the stuff he was doing there was serious, and then one day a producer was like, "Hey, we're getting really good ratings when we have midgets fight people. Let's do it."
Like true crime, anybody? Yeah,
exactly. The American way.
Yes.
Yeah,
true crime.
Yeah. But
no, that's wild. Fucking Springer,
Cosby. We're talking about all of the greatest people in American history.
And I watched the Cosby Show religiously, like on every afternoon after school.
It was on Nick at Night too.
Fuck yeah,
that's where I would watch it at. Yeah. So everybody be a Cosby and come out and dose yourself at a comedy show.
If there's anything you learned from tonight,
that's what you should do. Yeah. Whether it's PA, Jersey, whatever. But
just those two places.
Yeah, just those places. Just this summer. Get your summer started off with a bang.
Come to AC. Where the beaches are European.
Yeah. Come get a nice taste of what a Vancouver weather climate is like in the middle of the summer.
Some London fog.
Yeah, it's London fog out there. You have it's nothing to write home about. And as far as the beauty goes, you might, step on a needle, but it's all part of the AC experience.
Right. Yeah. It's like getting a destination tattoo.
It really is. Come do AC.
Yeah. Do AC. That's the only way.
That's the slogan.
You don't go to AC. You do AC.
You have to do AC. Yep. So do AC, and then hopefully you will be doing some more mics.
Meth.
Come back into and meth. And meth. We can do meth too. Meth's will really keep us going.
Very popular.
I'm not going to be driving home. I'll be flying home. This is how we're going to do it. You definitely get some of that down in Williamstown, New Jersey.
There you go.
I will not be selling any of that out of the trunk of my Chevy Cruze.
License plate LO.
Yeah. But if that's your speed,
then
you might be able to find some.
Yeah. It's out there.
Yeah.
If you build it, it will come.
Definitely will. If you build it, then they will come. And that's how any open mic that kind of sells meth in the bathroom starts.
Yes.
So,
like any good mental institution.
Yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate you having me on here.
Thank you so much for making
this
the
has
drive.
Been a blast.
Dude,
Fun. It's been a good time. We'll
make
have
a
to have
point
you over.
to fucks with you.
And you come over and you can become a South Jersey bad boy. You're halfway there, and you get a full blown certification after you come on the podcast over there. So
full on.
Yeah, dude.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll do it up.
But where can people find you on the socials?
The socials is Dan Callahan Comedy on the YouTubes and Instagram. I just never changed my username, so it's been the same thing for a decade now, and it's _Callahan_. I don't even want to throw comedy in there. Dan Callahan, you find me everywhere.
If it ain't broke it, then
I'm just gonna fucking leave it. So find me all across the social medias there, and the YouTubes is
All right, bro. I appreciate you, man.
All right. Well, thanks for having me again. Yeah, dude.